The pest control industry sells you a box of poison on your property line. They refill it every month, $40 to $80 per visit, $500 to $1,000 per year. The rat eats the poison, the rat survives. Because 8 out of 10 city rats now carry rodenticide in their liver without dying, the poison did not eliminate them, it trained them. 50 years of anticoagulant bait stations created a genetically resistant rat. Scientists call it the VKORC1 mutation. The industry calls it a reason to keep refilling the box. The CDC calls it the wrong approach. Their number one recommendation for rodent control is not poison. It is sealing the holes in your walls. The fix costs $80 to $150. It lasts 10 to 20 years. And the industry does not include it in the monthly contract. Here is how the poison works. Second-generation anticoagulant rodenticides, brodifacoum, bromadiolone, difethiolone, they block vitamin K recycling in the rat's blood. Without vitamin K, blood cannot clot. The rat bleeds internally and dies 4 to 10 days later. That was the theory. In practice, the rats adapted. A single mutation in the VKORC1 gene changes the enzyme's binding site. The poison cannot attach. The rat survives the dose, eats more, survives again, breeds, passes the mutation to every pup. This was first documented in Scotland in 1958, 5 years after warfarin was introduced. The industry responded by making stronger poisons, second-generation compounds. The rats responded by developing stronger resistance. In the UK, field trials showed 87% of tested rats were homozygous resistant. That means both copies of the gene carry the mutation. Bromadiolone did not work on them. Difenacum did not work on them. Only brodifacoum cleared the population, the most toxic compound available. And resistance to that is next. But here's the part that should make you angry. The poison does not disappear. The scars have a half-life of over 100 days in the liver. The rat carries it for months. When a hawk eats that rat, the hawk absorbs the poison. When an owl eats that rat, the owl absorbs the poison. In Chicago, researchers tested 93 urban predators, raccoons, opossums, skunks. 100% tested positive. Every single animal. 79% had multiple compounds in their liver. The rats were less contaminated than the animals eating them. In California, 88% of raptors tested positive for rodenticide, 95% of mountain lions. P22 was the most famous, the mountain lion of Griffith Park. He crossed 2 Los Angeles freeways, lived alone in a 9-square-mile park for over a decade. Blood tests confirmed rodenticide exposure. He developed severe mange. Researchers linked the mange to rodenticide immunosuppression. He was euthanized in December 2022. California had already banned eSCARs. AB 1788, signed 2020, the strongest rat poison restriction in the nation, and it exists because of bait stations. In January 2025, a team of 19 researchers published a study in Science Advances. Richardson, Corrigan, and 17 co-authors. They analyzed rat data from 16 cities on 3 continents. The finding was devastating. 11 of 16 cities showed significant increases in rat populations. The steepest growth, Washington, D.C., San Francisco, Toronto, New York, Amsterdam. The number one predictor of rat growth was not trash, not density, it was temperature. Climate warming. Warmer winters mean longer breeding. A female rat produces up to 10 litters a year of 6 to 12 pups each. 2 extra weeks of warm weather means 2 more reproductive cycles. The rats are not just surviving poison, they are outbreeding it. And the cities that spent the most on poison showed no better results than the cities that spent the least. New York hired a Rat Czar, Kathleen Karate, $176,000 a year, appointed April 2023. She resigned September 2025. No public announcement, no successor. Her budget was $3.5 million. The city generates 44 million pounds of trash per day. That budget was a rounding error. But here is what actually worked. Not the czar, not the poison, the trash bins. NYC Sanitation started requiring sealed containers for businesses in 2023. Residential buildings followed in 2024. Rat sightings dropped 20.6%, 12 consecutive months of decline. In the Hamilton Heights pilot zone, sightings dropped 55%. The most effective rat intervention in New York City history was not a poison, it was a trash can with a lid. Because rats are limited by food. Remove the food, the population crashes, no mutation can evolve around an empty stomach. And while the industry refills bait boxes, the rats spread disease. Leptospirosis, a bacterial infection from rat urine, kidney failure, liver damage, death. In 2023, New York City recorded 24 cases of leptospirosis, the all-time record. The previous average was 3 per year. A Tufts University study in Boston tested 328 trapped rats. 59 tested positive for leptospira, 18% carrying a deadly pathogen through the same alleys where your trash sits overnight. The bait stations did not stop this, sealed bins did. But this video barely scratches the surface of what they have buried. I spent months gathering every suppressed pest control method, every DIY protocol the industry buried. All of it is inside the buried pest vault. The $15 mouse-proof home guide, the home inspection checklist, when to call a pro decision tree, the product guide with 15 essentials, 9 complete guides, 0 filler. The link is in the description right now, but stay here. Because the math on rodent contracts is about to make you angry. If you have made it this far, you understand rodent control better than 99% of homeowners paying for monthly bait stations. Subscribe and share this with someone whose pest company just refills poison. Everything exposed is in the vault. 9 guides, link in the description. Now stay with me, because here's exactly what that monthly contract actually costs. The average rodent bait station contract costs $40 to $80 per month. That is $480 to $960 per year. Over 5 years, $2,400 to $4,800. Over 10 years, $4,800 to $9,600. Here's what you get for that money. A technician visits your property, opens the bait station, replaces the block of poison inside, checks for activity signs, closes the box, leaves 20 to 30 minutes. The chemical inside costs $2 to $5. The labor costs $15 to $25. Total cost to the company, $20 to $30. They charge you $50 to $80. And the rat that eats the bait has a 74% chance of carrying the poison in its liver without dying. You're paying $960 a year to feed poison to resistant rats while contaminating every predator that could control them for free. Hawks, owls, foxes, the animals that eat rats are being killed by the same poison you're paying to deploy. And the holes in your foundation? Still open. Because exclusion is not included in the monthly contract. Professional exclusion costs $1,000 to $5,000 one time. It lasts 10 to 20 years. The bait contract costs $960 a year, forever. $960 per year times 10 years, $9,600 for poison that creates resistance, $1,000 for exclusion that solves it. The CDC recommends exclusion first. The industry sells poison first, because exclusion ends the contract. Now, here is how to protect your home. The CDC hierarchy for rodent control. Step 1. Remove the food source. Secure all trash in sealed containers. Metal or plastic with tight lids. No bags on the ground, ever. Store pet food in sealed bins. Clean fallen fruit. Seal compost. If rats have no food, they leave. Step 2. Seal every entry point. A rat needs half an inch to enter. The width of a quarter. Walk your foundation. Every pipe, every crack, every gap. Hardware cloth. Half-inch galvanized. $30 to $50 for a roll. Cut to size. Secure with screws. Copper mesh for smaller gaps. $15 to $25 stuffed tightly into holes. It does not rust. Rats hate chewing it. Caulk every crack. $6 to $10. Door sweeps on every exterior door. $10 to $20 each. Check your garage door seal, dryer vents, attic vents, soffit gaps. If daylight comes through, a rat fits. Step 3. Trap what is inside. Victor M326. Pro snap traps. $5 to $8 each. Buy 6. Bait with peanut butter. Place perpendicular to walls. Trigger side facing the baseboard. Rats run along edges, not open floor. Check every morning. Wear gloves. Step 4. Rodenticide. Outdoors only. Tamper-resistant bait stations only. Last resort after exclusion and trapping. Never use poison indoors. Dead rats in walls cause odor for weeks, and every poisoned rat becomes a toxic meal for wildlife. The number 1 mistake? Skipping exclusion. Poison without exclusion is a subscription to failure. New rats enter through the same holes. You pay again next month. The cycle never ends. Now the total cost: hardware cloth and copper mesh, $60, caulk and foam, $15, door sweeps, $25, snap traps, $40, total $140. That covers your entire home for 10 to 20 years. The bait station contract costs $9,600 over 10 years. For poison that 74% of rats survive. $140 versus $9,600. One seals the problem, the other feeds it. And here's what the industry will never tell you. The bait station does not seal your home. It does not remove your trash. It does not fix the cracks in your foundation. It places a box of poison next to the holes it refuses to close. The rat eats the poison. The hawk eats the rat. The hawk dies. The rat's pups inherit the resistance. And the technician comes back next month to refill the same box. That is not pest control. That is a subscription to a problem that gets worse. The CDC says seal the holes. NYC proved that sealing the trash works. 20.6% decline in 12 months. Richardson's 19-author study proved the rats are winning the poison war. And California proved the poison kills the wrong animals. 88% of raptors contaminated. 95% of mountain lions poisoned by the same bait station your pest company refills every month. This information did not disappear because it stopped working. It disappeared because $9,600 contracts depend on you never learning that $140 of hardware cloth solves the problem they get paid to maintain. The rats are not the problem. The holes are. Seal the holes. Remove the food. The rats have nowhere to go. Every share of this video is a crack in the wall they built around your wallet. Every subscription keeps this vault open. The complete buried pest vault. 9 guides. Everything they buried. The link is in the description. The next vault opens soon. And what is inside is the $5 powder that kills 95% of cockroaches. The most effective roach killer ever tested. Buried since 1948. We just dug it up.